Okay. Okay. So in the last class we have started the Maven. So in that we have completed the two tasks. One is installation part. Second one is a folder structure. So installation part is done by DevOps only, DevOps engineer. Whereas folder structure that is given by the developers only. Okay, yesterday we have seen the folder structure. These two topics are completed yesterday. So today we are going to discuss about the Maven commands and about the POM file. Okay. So before going to this Maven commands, okay, so you need to understand first what is the main objective of the Maven tool. What is the main objective of Maven tool? So Maven tool is a build tool. Okay, it build the artifact. Okay, that means whenever the developers are giving the code and they put in the some repositories, so DevOps engineer take that code and they are using the Maven tool or Gradle tool. Okay, build tool with the help of any build tool, they are building the artifacts. Okay, so what is the meaning of artifact? So artifact is nothing but it's a package. It is a package. We are also called the artifact or package or application. Okay, we can call the artifact or package or application. So if it is a Java language, Java programming language, we are getting three types of artifacts. One is jar, var, er. So you may get three types of artifacts in the real time. But out of this, mostly in the real time, they are using jar file or var file. Okay, so EAR is nothing but summation of jar file and var file. Combination of both jar file and var file. So in the last class, so we have seen how the developers are developing the jar file and this var file. That is packages. The folder structure for this jar package as well as var package. Okay, in the last class we have seen. Okay, and the command mode, so the interactive mode as well as batch mode. So we are able to generate the two types of folder structures. So let us take the product one. So this is a jar type. Okay, so this is a jar type package. Okay, whenever you build this package, build this code, you are getting the .jar file. So whenever you execute, you build this code, you are getting so dot var. That is var type. Var type you are getting. Okay, so I will show both jar how we are building, how we are doing the package for both jar as well as var. Okay, so first of all, you need to understand. You know that what is meant by artifact, right? So in the real time, so these artifacts are stored in a location or moved in a location called artifactories. Okay, artifacts in the real time are generally stored in a location called artifactories. Okay, so the third party artifactories are Nexus, JBoss. So these are the tools we are using in the real time for storing these artifacts. So in the next coming up classes, so I will explain about Nexus. Okay, so after the Jenkins class, okay, I'll explain what is meant by Jenkins, what is meant by Nexus, and how we are integrating, how we are moving the artifact that is generated into the Nexus repository. Okay, so these are called as remote repositories. We can call these remote repositories. So generally, artifacts are moved into three types of repositories. Okay, that means we can call the artifactories are three types. Artifactories are three types. One is local, central. So local means, so whenever you execute the given package, whenever you build the given package, you are getting one package. That is, it may be jar file or var file in your local system. Okay, so that is called as, that means your artifactory that is generated, that is located in the local system. Okay, generally that artifactory that is generated by using the Maven tool, Maven commands, that is located under user's home. User's home, we have a folder called .m2. Under .m2 folder, the artifactory is generally placed. Okay, in the local machine, that means in our local computers, whenever you are executing the Maven commands, then the generated artifact, it may be jar file or var file, that is stored or moved under the location user's home .m2. It may be Windows or it may be Linux, whatever it may be, the folder for storing the artifactories is same. The folder for storing the artifacts is same, that is user's home .m2 folder. This .m2 folder is automatically created. It is automatically created. Next, coming to the central repository. So central repository means whenever you are executing the Maven commands, the dependencies, okay, the dependencies, it is taking from the central repositories. That means I'll show what are the dependencies that are required for executing the Maven commands. Okay, while executing the Maven. Okay, so that that central repository is nothing but, okay, so this is Maven repository. If you type in the Google, so Maven repository. So see, this is the central repository. Okay, here you can find all the plugins, all the dependencies which are relating to the Java programming. Okay, so let us take here. You can also search here. For example, generally the unit testing. Okay, unit testing is by the tool called as JUnit. Okay, you can get the JUnit. Okay, you can get the JUnit plugin here. So this is for the central repo. Okay, in the central repo, you have seen the recent version 4.13.2. So this is the central repository. Okay, so if you place this file in the form.xml, okay, that is, it is automatically taken the dependencies. Okay, or otherwise, so whenever the Maven commands are executing, so that Maven is automatically taking the dependencies. So see here, dependency. So this is one dependency. So JUnit is one dependency that is used for testing. Okay, for testing the package. So JUnit is the tool we are using. Okay, whenever you are executing the Maven commands, so the Maven from the local, it is calling the central for downloading the dependencies. All the dependencies are downloaded from the central repository. Okay, if you are using the Maven tool, so this is the file that will be automatically placed in the form.xml. If you are using a Gradle tool, so then this is the pattern that you are giving in the form.xml. So likewise for different tools, so Maven, Gradle, so SBT, so Grape, so all these are build tools only. So depending on the build tool, the corresponding, okay, this dependency will be placed in the this form.xml. But currently, no need to place this form.xml, this file, this content in the form.xml. So form.x, that whenever you are executing the Maven commands, it is calling the dependencies. First of all, it is checking the dependencies are available in the local repo. Okay, so it is checking the dependencies which are available there or not in the local repo. First, it is checking if they are available in the local, then that Maven commands are taking the dependencies from the local. Okay, if they are not available in the local, so then it is calling from the central. It is taking from the central. So dependencies are calling from the central repository. So this is the central repository. So the central repository is Maven repository.com. So this website is the central repository. And about remote repository, I already explained. This is nothing but Nexus or JBoss. So these are the so remote repositories. whenever the artifact is generated, so we are moving the artifacts into the remote repositories, so Nexus and JBoss. So this is, you must understand before going to the Maven commands. Okay, generally the purpose of the Maven tool is to generate the package. It may be jar file or var file or EAR file. Whenever the package is generated, you need to store, you need to move the package, okay, into Artifactory for storing. Okay, so generally there are three types of Artifactories. So that is local, central, and remote. So local Artifactory means that is the folder which is available under users home.em2 folder. This is automatically created whenever you are executing the Maven commands. So central repository, nothing but it is the Maven repository website. So if the dependencies are not available in the local repository, that is in the .m2 folder, so it is taking from the central repository. The dependencies are taken from the central repository and it executing the Maven commands. Once the package is built, so we are moving the package into the remote repository such as Nexus or JBoss. Understood? So this is an important concept here. So let me show here in the directory users. So this is the user's home. So see here, .m2 folder is already created. So already in the local, so see here, all these are nothing but Maven plugins or Maven dependencies. All these are Maven dependencies. So I'm again deleting this .m2 folder. So this .m2 folder is automatically created. Now, so next after this, so before going to explain this Maven commands, first we will need to understand about the artifactories. After this, I'm explaining the Maven commands. So we can call the Maven commands are also called as pages, or you can call the same as goals. Okay, Maven commands can also be called as pages or goals. So generally, there are 27 pages are there. For Maven, there are 27 pages are there. But in general, only few are used. Only few commands or few pages are used. So out of that, the first one is the first command. First Maven command is mvn validate. The first Maven command that is used is mvn validate. So out of this 27 pages, we are using only few commands or few pages or few goals. So the first command is mvn validate. Whenever you are executing this command, so what it happened, it is validating the source code. It is validating the source code. So what is the meaning of validation? It is checking whether all the resources are available or not. Checking the resources available or not. Checking the resources available or not. So that is a function of mvn validate. The first command we are doing whenever you are executing the Maven. Okay. So next, second command. So after validating the resources, if everything is fine, so then you are executing the next command. So since whatever the code that is given by the developer, that is in the ASCII format, right? So then you need to convert the ASCII format into bytecode format, that is machine understandable language. So for that you need to compile the code. You need to compile the source code. Therefore, the second command is mvn compile. Whenever you are executing this command, so what happened? So it is compiling the source code. It is compiling the source code. Okay, so whenever executing this mvn compile, it is compiling the source code. That is, it is converting the ASCII format into the bytecode format. Next, third command. So after compilation is done, so then what we need to do? We need to test that source code. Okay, we need to test the bytecode. So therefore, for that we are using the command mvn test. So it is testing the code, testing the source code. So next, that is bytecode, which is in the bytecode format. Okay, whenever you are doing the compilation, so ASCII format converted to bytecode, and this test will test the bytecode. After the testing is completed, then we are doing the package. Okay, so the command is mvn package. So what this command it will do? So this will generate the package. Okay, it will generate the package. So package means it may be .jar file or .var file or .ear file. So any package depending on the folder structure that is going to be generated. So this is the package generation. After this, we have some more phases are there. So mvn install. So what this mvn install will do? Okay. So here, what happened? So whenever you are executing, so till now what you are doing, you are validating the source code, you are compiling the source code, you are testing the source code, and you are generating the package. Okay. So now whenever you are, so now the package is available in some particular folder. Okay, the package is available in particular folder, but whenever you are executing this mvn install, so what happened, that is moved into local repo. So what is the meaning of local repo? So that is nothing but users home /.m2 folder. So this is the local repo. So next, one more command. So mvn deploy. So whenever you are executing this mvn deploy, so what happened? So this command will move the artifact or package into the remote repo, like Nexus or JBoss. Okay, so whenever you are doing this mvn install, the package that is generated, it is moved into the local repository. So that is users home /.m2 folder. Okay, whenever you are using the deploy, so the package is moved into the remote repository. So how the package is moved to remote repository, that is Nexus. From local to Nexus, you need to move the package. For that, you need to give the connection. You need to give the authentication from the local to that remote. For that, you need to create. Okay, you need to generate. You need to create a file that is called .settings. Okay, you need to create a file called .settings. Okay, and in this .settings file, it is containing all the information about artifact and the authentication details. Okay, authentication details and artifact details will be available in the .settings file. Okay. Anyway, I'll explain this topic later in the Jenkins topic. I'll explain clearly. Okay. So up to this part, okay, today we will practice. Okay. MVN validate, it is validating the source code, compiling the source code, testing the source code, package means generating the package. Okay. And install. So install, whenever you do the install, so the generated package is moved to the local repository. Whenever you do the deploy, so the package is moved into the remote repository. Okay. So here, in addition to these things, so one more, two more, few other comments are there. So, but before going to that, so here one more interesting point here. Whenever you are executing the mvn validate, so what happened? It is validating the source code. It is validating the source code. Whenever you are doing the mvn compile, it is not only doing the compilation, it is also do the validation. So validating the source code and compiling the source code. The two previous steps, the previous steps will be automatically executed. So whenever you do the mvn test, So what it will do? It will validate the source code. It will compile the source code and test the source code. Whenever you are doing executing a single command MVN package, so what happened? It is validate the source code. It is compile the source code and testing the source code and generate the package. And whenever you do the install, so what happened? The previous steps will follow. Validate the source code, compile the source code, test the source code, package will be generated, and the package is moved into local repository. That means whenever you are executing this command, any one command, the previous commands will follow automatically. Okay. So in addition to these two commands, we have some more commands. So mvn clean. Mvn clean. So this command, what it do? So the name itself indicating clean. So it is cleaning the or clearing the or deleting the artifacts that is generated. Delete the artifacts generated. Okay, so here with the help of mvn package, you are going to generate the packages for jar file, var file, or ER file. With the help of the mvn clean, so it delete the artifacts which are generated. Okay. And one more command, very important command this is. So mvn site in interviews, so mostly they'll ask this question. So mvn site. So what is this command will do? It will not do, it won't do anything, but it will generate one document. It will generate one document for the complete project. It will generate the document for complete project. Okay. So out of 27 pages or 27 commands, mostly we are using these commands in the real time. Okay. In the real time, mostly we are using these commands. So now we will execute one by one. Remember one more very, very important point. Very, very important point here. All the above commands are executed in a folder which contains form.xml. Very, very important. Okay, just a minute. Okay, so very, very important point. So all these Maven commands are executed in a folder. That folder should contain the form.xml. So without form.xml, these commands will not work. Okay, why means that form.xml will contain the dependencies of these commands. That's why. So I'll explain the form.xml after this commands class. Okay. So now we will start execution. So currently I'm in the product one. So see here, form.xml is here. This is automatically generated. So we are not creating the form.xml. So developers generally, so they will edit the form.xml and they will add the dependencies. It's not the DevOps engineer role. Okay. So along with the source code, along with the unit test cases, form.xml also given by the developers only. So it is not the responsibility of DevOps engineers. So therefore, no need to worry about this form.xml and about this process. Okay. Now here I'm just doing a git bash. So see what will happen in the folder along with. So let us see here. Here there is a .m2 folder. Now let us execute the first command, mvn validate. See here, .m2 folder is automatically created. So whenever you are executing the Maven commands, it is downloading the plugins from the central repositories. Okay, so Maven validate. You are executing the first command. So here scanning for project. So the project, because format XML is there, therefore here it is working. For example, I'm just changing the folder. I'm just here, for example, let us take what is the folder here. So SRC is there. So I'm just moving it to the SRC folder. Now, if you execute mvn validate here, so it is throwing the error. See, build failure. Why it is throwing the error? Here it is clearly showing what is the reason for the error. There is no form. Okay, so the goal requires a project execute. There is no form. See here, visible, right? There is no form in this directory. Okay, there is no form in this directory. Therefore, you must understood that all the Maven commands should be executed in a folder where the Maven, that is form.xml, should present. Therefore, cd dot again going back, clearing the screen, and just execute the same command mvn validate. So for every command, you need to get this message, build success. Okay. So this is a jar file. So therefore, you are going to generate the jar package. Now, second command is mvn compile. After validating the source code, you are converting the ASCII code into byte code. So mvn compile. So see here, downloading from central. So whenever you are executing the Maven commands, it is downloading the dependencies or and plugins. So see here, it is downloading the plugins from the central repository. I already shown them central repository, right? That from that repository, this Maven is going to download. And where it is placed, all these plugins and dependencies are placed in which folder? .m2 folder. If you observe this folder, so this folder is now goes on increases. The folders number of folders will be increases because it is going to download the dependencies. Okay, it is going to download the dependencies. All the dependencies are stored under the folder .m2. So lot of dependencies which are required. So all these are downloaded from the central only. See, build success. Okay, now whenever you are compiling the source code, so now previously there is no target folder. Previously there is no target folder, only source folder is there. Source, SRC, main, test zone, two folders are there. Now target folder is created. In the target folder, there are classes will be generated. So once again, I'll show this one. I'll explain this. So now I have deleted the target folder. Now here I will show again. I'm executing the mvn compile. So just observe this folder. See here, target folder is generated. So what is this target folder? So you are executing the compile. You are doing the compilation. Compilation means the ASCII code is converted into the byte code. Therefore, whenever that generally the ASCII code is available under source src main Java. In this folder only, the source code will be available in the ASCII format. Whenever you are doing the compilation, the compiled code will be located here in the classes file. So see app.class. Now this is understood by the machine. Okay, this is understandable by the machine language. This is machine language. This is understandable by the machine only. This is not human understandable language. Okay, so whenever you are doing MVN compilation, so ASCII code is converted into the byte code and target folder is created. In the target folder, you are able to see the classes folder. In the classes folder, so you can see app.class. App.class. So this is the byte code. This is a class files. We can call these as Java class files. Okay, Java class files. So this class files is contain the byte code. Okay, now along with so some annotations will be generated and the status plugins also will be generated. So the plugins are stored under here. Okay, so this is a MVN compile. So one more very important interview question here. See here, when you are executing the MVN command for the first time, it is taking 1 minute 16 seconds. Right. For the first time, when you are executing the MVN compile, it is taking 1 minute 16 seconds. Whereas if you execute the same command for second time, it is completed in only 4 seconds, 4.7 seconds. Why it is? So this is a very important interview question. Interviews definitely ask this question. Why, when you're executing the command second time, it is taking very less time? Why? Because when you're executing the command for the first time, it is downloading the plugins or dependencies from the central repository. Okay, and all the dependencies are stored under a file in the folder called .m2. Okay, .m2 folder. So all the dependencies are stored. Whenever you are executing for the second time, first the Maven commands will look into the .m2 folder whether the dependencies are there or not in the .m2 folder. Okay, whenever you are executing the Maven commands, that command will first check in the local repo whether the commands and the dependencies are available there or not in the local repository. If they are available in the local, so it will take very less time for executing the Maven command. But if they are not in the local, it is to be downloaded from the central repository, therefore takes more time. So that's why you need to answer in such a way. So I already show the practical also. For the first time, it is taking a more time, 1 minute 16 seconds. For second time, it is taking only 4 seconds. If you execute the third time, it is again taking some more less time. See here, 3.972 seconds, because all the dependencies are all the plugins are available in the local. All are available in the local. That's why. So no need to go to the central repository. Okay. Now the ASCII code is converted into the byte code. Now here we need to test the code, byte code. So command is mvn test. So the plugins required for test are not available in the local. That's why they are again downloaded from the central only. Okay, they are again downloaded from the central only. So these are the plugins which are related to the testing. See, testing is started. So now these are test results here. So here what it is showing, there are no failures, no errors, no skipped. So all are success, build is success. It is taking 31 seconds. If you again do second time MV and test, it is taking very less time because all the plugins are already downloaded in the .m2 folder. See here, it is taking very less time, 7 seconds. Previously it is 31 seconds, now it is 7 seconds. So now testing is completed. When the testing is shows 0 failures, 0 errors, then we can go for the package. So MVN package. See here, build success. So whenever you are executing the build, that is MVN package, one package that is generated. So that the package is stored under this folder. So see users, Surya, desktop, product one, target. So under target folder, you are able to see the jar file. Okay, that is a jar package. Now see here, go to the target folder. Now here you can see the product. This is the jar file. This is the jar file. Now here, see here, all these are plugins which are downloaded from the central repository whenever you're executing the commands. Okay. So here I already told you in the just now. So whenever you are executing MVN compile, this command will validate and compile the source code. Whenever you are executing the test, it will validate, compile, and test. Whenever you are executing the package, it will validate the resources, compiling the source code, testing the source code, and package will be generated. So see here, in this we are in the last command. So this is the resources, that is validating the resources. So that is MVN validate command. This it will do. And next one, MVN compile. Whenever the MVN compile, so this is a compilation. And MVN test. So these are test resources will be generated. So test compiling and test will be completed. So here the test results will be here. And after the MVN test, then MVN package that will be generated. MVN package that is going to be generated here. So the previous commands will follow. And one more important point here. So whenever you are executing the Maven commands, so those Maven commands require the plugins or dependencies. Those are downloaded from the central repositories. Okay, those plugins are downloaded from the central repository, that is maven.repo, like that. So here, if you observe this one, so for MVN validate, so MVN validate, what it will do? It will validate the resources, right? It is simply validating the resources. For validating the resources, we require validate plugin. That is resources plugin is required. Therefore, MVN-resources plugin. So this is the plugin that is downloaded from the central repository. This is the version of the plugin. This is the 3.0.2 is the version of that corresponding plugin. Okay, so similarly for MVN compile, so MVN compiler plugin. So these plugins are downloaded from the available in the central repository. Okay, so with the version 3.8.0. Similarly, for testing, so MVN resources plugin. So for test resources, this is the plugin. So for test compiler, this is the plugin. And for tests, only for test reports, for testing here. So Maven Surefire plugin. So this is the command. This is a plugin. So this is the plugin that is for this is for testing. Okay, with the version 2.22.1. So if you go to into the folder, target folder, you can see the corresponding plugins here. So this target folder having the plugins. So this is a classes file, nothing but it contains the bytecode. So here, Surefire reports, it will contain the test reports. So see here, if you open this one, so it is a test results will be available under this file. Okay. So next, these are test, the XML file, the same thing. So whenever you are executing this one, the test reports will be generated here. App test.java. So by using the JUnit test, so we are compiling that is testing the source code. So this is the SRC is the file that is given by the developers only. We are not touching the file. So by using the Maven tool, okay, by using the Maven tool, we are executing the Maven commands and then we are generating the packages. Okay, either jar or var or EAR. So similarly, okay, now what happened? NVN package is that command will generate the package and that package is available under target folder now. Now I want to move this this file into the .m2 folder. So where this .m2 folder is available, the .m2 under users, under home, under .m2. So here I want to move that file into this location. So for storing the artifact, okay, for that what we are doing, what's the command? MVN install. Whenever you're executing this command, that this package is moved into that particular location. So now let us see. See here. Here the package, whenever you are executing the MVN install command, what happened? It will again perform the previous task, that is validating the resources, compiling test resources, testing, and next installing the package. So this is Maven jar plugin. So here this will install the jar file, and install plugin is not available. Therefore, it is downloading from the central repository. And after that, what happened? The file that is copied. So see here, from the jar file is available under the target folder. Is now moved into .m2 repository. So here into this particular place, that file is moved. Now let us see whether this file is available in the .m2 folder or not. So where this is moved here in the project new, this folder is created under this product one, under this. So see 0.1.0 snapshot. So here, so see product 1 -1.0 snapshot.jar. So this package is now moved into .m2 folder. So that is the use of MVN install command. Okay, that is the use of MVN install command. So now similarly we can do for this one also, that is a var file also. Okay, so before that we will execute. So how to execute this package? Okay, that part I will show here. Just a moment. Okay. Now here the package is available under the folder, under this target folder, the package is available. Now I want to run this package. Okay. So now what is the meaning of MVN install? So MVN install, nothing but it will copy or it will move the jar file into the .m2 folder. That is called as deployment. We can call that as deployment. Now I want to execute this jar file. Okay, so I want to execute this jar file. So that means what is our objective? So generally the developers are developed this source code. So what is the source code content? That is hello world. Here the source code content is hello world. Now I want to display this hello world because this is a simple program. This is a simple Java program that will display hello world. Okay, now I want to display for that. For that, what I'm doing, I just make the package. Okay, the given source code is converted into one jar file. That is this jar file. Now I want to execute this package. Okay, so for that I'm just using the git bash here. So I already told you in the starting classes. So for executing of Java, that is jar file. Okay, for executing of jar file, so Java is sufficient. Okay, Java is sufficient. For executing the var file, we need some web servers like Tomcat. So Tomcat is required. Okay, so Tomcat is required. So not web servers, they're called as partial app server. We can call this as partial app servers is required. That is Tomcat is required. So that means here for Java, so Java is sufficient. So how we are executing the given generated package with the command Java -jar, so followed by that .jar file. So this command will execute. This command will execute the jar package. So now let us try that. So currently I'm in the folder which is containing the jar file. Therefore, Java -jar. So here, what is the jar file name? It is product.jar. Now we enter. So here it is asking no main manifest attribute in the product one dot. That is, this file does not contain the manifest file. That is generally given by the developers only. So for that, what we are doing, we are passing the manifest along with the command. We are passing the manifest along with the command. So for that, the command is Java -cp. So followed by this jar file name, and the manifest is available under this folder. Okay, so under this classes, so jar app.class. So this is the manifest name. So you need to pass this name. Okay, you need to pass this name. So here under the jar, so jar is a manifest. So jar.app. So you need to give this name here. Jar.app. See here the output hello world. So in this way we are working with the Maven tool. Now here what I'm doing, I'll change the source code here. I will change the source code here. In place of hello world, I'm just writing some other. So welcome to DevOps classes. Here I'm writing this one. Control yes. Now this text to be displayed. So what I need to do again I need to repeat all the commands. Okay, I need to repeat all the commands. So Maven validate, Maven compile, Maven test, Maven package. Okay, all the commands should be repeated. But instead of that, I'm executing only one command called Maven package. So this command will perform all the previous commands in less time because already the plugins are downloaded in the .m2 folder. That's why. See, all are completed in a seconds only because the plugins are already downloaded from the central repo and available in the local repo. So complete in the 7 seconds. So build is success, and then jar file is available under the target folder. Now, if you go to the target folder again, so just type here ll. Now execute the same command. So see here, welcome to DevOps classes. Okay, in this way we are working with the Maven commands. Okay, this is only sample file, but in the real time, so hello world, this type of text is not available. So the code that is given by developers only, simply you are executing the code with the help of the Java command. Understood? Any doubts here? Any doubts here? If no doubts, I'll continue for 15 more minutes to complete the pop.xml topic. So here one more command, mvn clean. Okay, mvn clean is the command that is used to clean the repository. That is nothing but it will delete the existing artifact. So this artifact will be deleted now. So click on enter. Sorry, you are not in the pom.file. File. That's why it is throwing the error. There is no pom here. There is no pom. That's why it is throwing the error. So you need to execute that command from this folder, this file. So here's mvn clean. What this command will do, it will delete the existing artifacts and its related information. For that also it is downloading the, so see here, all the information, all the target file content will be deleted, but here somewhere it execute. But however it is deleted the complete information here. Clean project failed to delete. Okay, because why it is not deleted means we are currently under the target folder only. We are currently in the target folder, that is, it is not deleting that one. Now if execute once again, see some related to this plugin issue, not a problem. But however, that is deleted with the help of Maven clean. So all the content of target will be deleted. All the content along with the dependencies for this project will be completely deleted. If you again execute mvn package again, all the folders will be coming to picture along with the package. See, all will be available here in the folder, target folder. See, the package also generated. So this is the mvn clean command will do and mvn package command will do. Clear? In the most real time, you are using clean and package. So mostly these two commands you are using. In the Jenkins also, okay, we are using mostly these commands, clean and package. Clean means it is clearing the or deleting the existing files if any. Okay, so next package means it is generating the new package. So now till now we discussed about the jar file. Now we will discuss about var file. Okay. So just I want that part also explain. So product 2. This is a product 2. It will contain the var file. So git bash. Just open the git bash here. So now here also my same process. So mvn. I'm directly execute the command mvn package directly. Or if you want to execute one by one, you can execute. So mvn validate. First, it will validate the resources. Build a success. Next, mvn compile. Downloading the repositories available in the already .m2 folder. That's why it is not taking much time. It is completing within seconds only. So next MVN test. So whenever you are executing these commands, so locally, so some changes will be happens. Okay, some changes will be happens here. Next, so MVN test is completed. Now MVN compile, MVN package. Now the package will be generated. So it is downloading the var related plugins or var related dependencies. So previously we have jar related plugins are available. So that is downloaded from the central. Now it is downloading the var related plugins. So build a success. So see here also target folder is created. In the target folder, so see product.var. Product.var is generated. So you need to move this is a var file. Okay, you need to move this var file into the Tomcat. Okay, you need to move this var file into the Tomcat, then only this will work. So just copy this. Okay, I already have the Tomcat. So here in the web apps folder, you can place this. Already product 2 is there. I'm deleting this one. So product 2 here, it is newly copied. Now you can execute. Okay, you can work with the this application. So let us, for that, let us first you need to start this Tomcat. So I'll explain this the Tomcat later sessions. So Tomcat is started. So the command for starting the Tomcat is this one. This is a bash file. Okay. So that's why we are with this command, we are starting the Tomcat. So Tomcat is running under the port. So you can see the port here. You can see the port information here. .8090. So Tomcat is running under the port 8090. So just open the Chrome. So localhost 8090. See, Tomcat is running. So under this Tomcat, what is our product? So product 2. So see, hello. So what you are doing, you are generated the var file here. You are generated the var file here. So in this particular folder, so .var, so product2.var, that file is generated. So you are moving this artifact into the runtime environment, that is called as deployment. I already told you the starting classes. What is the meaning of deployment? Okay, moving the artifact into runtime environment is called as deployment. So what you did now? So whatever the generated package, okay, that generated package you are copied and you are placed in the runtime environment of Tomcat in the WebOps folder. Just you are placed this one. So you are copied there and placed here. So copy and paste, that is called as deployment. Okay, and you are running the Tomcat. So this is the output of that Tomcat. Now if you change the code there, again that part also I'll show here. Just go in the desktop. So product 2, src, name, web apps. Here index.jsp is a file. Here you need to change. So here I also welcome to DevOps, saving this one, and again I need to reapply the command mbn package. So now the new package, the same name that is going to be generated. But if you execute here in the Tomcat, so it is showing the same. Why it is showing the same? So the package is generated. So product 2 where if you execute this one, still it is showing the previous one. Why? Why means you are not done the deployment. Okay, you are not done the deployment. So deployment, how you are doing the deployment? So just go to the target folder, copy the product 2, that is this WAV file, and go to the this Tomcat and just paste it here. Replace. In the WebOps folder, we are generally placing the WAR files. That is nothing but deployment. Now, if you do the refresh, see, welcome to DevOps classes. So, in this way, we are doing the deployment in the real time. Okay, I've shown the both jar file and WAR file. Okay, I've shown both jar file as well as WAR file. So this is about a Maven commands basically. Now we give 10-15 minutes and explain about the form. So till now, if you have any doubts, you can ask me. For jar file, the runtime environment is Java. Runtime environment is Java. So therefore, by using this command, we are executing. If no manifest is there, then the command is java-cp. Okay, followed by the jar file name and need to give the manifest here. So generally, so jar.app like that you need to give. So for var file, the runtime environment is Tomcat. Any doubts here? So if you don't have any doubts, I'll continue with the format XML. No doubts? Fine. So now next topic, last topic of the Maven, that is called form.xml. You know that all the Maven commands are executing under the folder which contain the form.xml only. So the full form of form is project object model. So what is this form.xml? So this is a file which contains, okay, which contain the complete project information as well as dependencies. Okay, it will contain the complete project information as well as dependencies information. Okay, so now mainly the form.xml is classified into 3 categories. Entire form.xml is divided into 3 parts. One is that parts are we are calling as tags. Okay, generally there are three tags in the format XML. The first tag is general tags. General tags. Second one, dependency tags. Third one, is build tags. So the first one, general tags. So this general tags will contain the project information. It will contain the project information. What is the project information? It is nothing but group ID, artifact ID. So these terms are already know you. And yesterday in the command also we have given in the batch mode, interactive mode. We have know these terms: group ID, artifact ID, version. Okay. So next, developer information. Okay. The next, so what is the repo? Where this code is taken? From which repo? That information, that is repo URLs also will be come under this general tags. Next, dependency tags. So the name itself indicating it is nothing but details of the dependencies. Details about dependencies. Okay. Dependencies. So generally these are downloading from the central repo. And third one, build tags. So these build tags will contain the about build information. Will contain the build information. So what is the build information? Nothing but name. What is the plugin? So next, what is the phase name? And what is the goal? These three it will contain. So plugin name. So for example, if it is a resource plugin, okay, if it is a resource, see, this is a resource plugin. So it will contain the resource plugin information. So this is the plugin name. So we give the resource MVN resource plugin. The next phase. So what is the phase? So it will what this phase will do? It will validate the resources. So what is the goal? Goal means what is the command? So what is the final objective? It will validate the resources. That is MVN validate a command. For example, if it is a package, okay, if it is a package, so if it is a var file, so this is the package name. If it is a var file, this is a plugin name. So a Maven var plugin. If it is a jar file, so the plugin name will be MVN jar plugin. And what this phase will do? It will validate the resources. It will compile the resources. So there is source code. It will test the source code and give the package. And what is the final objective? So if it is a Maven var plugin, it will generate the var file. If it is Maven-jar plugin, it will give the jar file. So this is the complete information about project object model, that is form. So I think all of you know about these things. I already told you while explaining the demo only. Okay, now I'll show what exactly the format XML will contain here. So in our local, we have already format XML is there. So this is the format XML. See here. So this is a complete form.xml. So first it will contain the general tags. General tags means nothing but group ID, so model version, artifact ID, version. So what is the packaging type? So it is where. So what is the name? And what is the URL? So this is the general tags. This is nothing but general tags up to this part. Up to this part, general tags. Next, second one is dependency tags. So you see here dependencies. So here it will download the dependency. So here by default we have only one dependency, that is JUnit. Only we have only one dependency, but in the real time you can see so many dependencies. The real time you can see so many dependencies. So so dependency tags will contain the information about the dependencies such as group ID, artifact ID, version. So you have seen this information in the Maven repository, right? So I will again show that Maven repository. In the Maven repository, in the JUnit, type here JUnit. So for the Maven plugin, so see here the version is 4.11. It is taking a version 4.11. So you can also take the same version as 4.11 to 4.11 version. So see here, this is a dependency. So group ID, artifact ID, version 4.11. So this dependency, whenever you are executing the Maven commands, so these dependencies will be downloaded into the form.xml. It will be taken automatically. Or generally developers will give this information. These dependencies. So this is the second tag. That is a dependency tag. And third one, build tags. Third one is about the build tags. So build tags means it will contain the plugins information first. So what are the different plugins which are available? So see here, Maven clean, you executed this command. That's what it is showing. Whatever the commands you have executed, the corresponding plugins are shown here. So Maven clean plugin, resources plugin, compiler plugin, so Surefire plugin, nothing but testing, so var plugin, install plugin, so deploy plugin. So all these are, so default it will be generated. Okay, phase. So phase means currently which phase you are executing. That from these plugins automatically that corresponding phase will be taken and that corresponding goal will be executed. Okay, so from the build information, okay, so the plugins are already available in the format.xml and the corresponding phase that will be executed, okay, by taking the plugins from the available in the .m2 folder and the corresponding job that is performed to generate the var file or jar file. Clear? So this is the form.xml contains. So in the interviews, if they ask what is the format.xml, you can explain this one. And one more important point. So this form.xml is called as super form. It's called super form. And one more important point. For example, okay, so here currently you are executed two jobs. One is generating the jar file, generating the var file separately. That is product 1, product 2. For example, if you are executed two jobs at a time, okay, if you are executed two jobs at a time, so then what happened? Okay, so for example, let us divide a project that is have both jar package and var package. Okay, so for jar package, there is one separate form.xml. Okay. For var package, there is some form.xml. This entire project having both jar file as well as var file. Okay, jar file have some format.xml and var file have some format.xml. If you want to execute individually jar file or var file, you need to go to into the particular folder. Okay, here in the format.xml is there, then here you can execute the Maven command so that jar package will be generated. Okay, if you want to go to the var folder and execute the Maven commands under this file, then var file will be generated. But I don't want to go into the folders and I don't want to execute the commands twice. Okay, I want to execute out of the folder. Okay, so again, these two folders will be in the main folder. So that folder, that is the name with the project. Let it be project. Okay, so now this project also have one form.xml. Okay, what this form.xml? So this form.xml, it will contain the information of the jar file as well as var file. Therefore, this form.xml in the project is called as parent form. It is called as parent form. Similarly, the form.xml in the individual folders, that is called as child form. That is called as child form. Clear? So this is also one of the important interview question. What is the difference between parent form and child form? Okay, if there are two artifacts, two packages there in a single folder, each and every package has its own format.xml, and overall we have one format.xml. That entire format.xml is called as overall format.xml is called as parent form, and individual package forms are called as child forms. So if you execute the Maven commands under this parent form, so these packages will be automatically generated. Okay, so no need to go into the individual folders and execute the Maven commands. You can directly execute the Maven commands in the parent form. Okay, you can execute the Maven commands under the parent form. Whenever you executed this, so the jar file as well as var file are generated in the particular folders. Here, and one more last point, effective form. Effective form. So here, whenever you have shown the form.xml, it is showing the only some information, only few information. It is showing the only few information. Okay, I already told you only 27 out of 27, only these are the pages. These are the plugins which are available. If you want to show complete information about the project, then that information is available in the effective forms. Effective form will contain the detailed information about the form.xml. Detailed information will contain the detailed information. So for that, the command is mbn help effective form. Effective hyphen form. So this is the command you need to give. So let us execute this one. It is taking a very long time because it is generating the complete plugins which are relevant for the project. See, all the 27 plugins, it will be generated, I think. So see, here is the complete information, that is, so you can see the plugins here while executing the commands itself. So this is about Maven. So Maven is over. So see, this is the complete form. Effective form. So it will be the general tags. So these are dependency tags. So this is about the build tags. From this, so these are the build tags. See all the plugins which are done. Purify plugin. Clear? So this is about the tool Maven. So tomorrow I'm going to explain the HTTP containers. So if you have any doubts, you can ask me. So otherwise, you can do this question.